A union might be considered a compromise, but is this something Alistair even desires?
I don't know. I think I could convince him.
Let me say this. If Alistair is willing to stand back and allow me to continue governing the nation, then I would be willing to have him as my king. It is my understanding that governing does not appeal to him anyhow. If that is so, this is a compromise I can live with.
I will speak to him then.
Do so. I will be interested to hear what he has to say.
Right. So now we need our... was it Louis the 14th? Let me see if we can get him while we have our Richelieu, who's actually doing the governing.
So I'm guessing someone told Anora I was planning to steal her throne. She has a nasty glare. Did anyone mention this wasn't my idea? I think she's a great queen. As far as I'm concerned, she's welcome to it.
Well, good news. I think you'd be a great king, Alistair.
Really? Whatever will give you that idea?
Justice, mercy. You have a kind heart and a strong sense of justice.
Well, it's nice that you think so. What do you think I should do? Go ahead and be king, just to let it happen?
I think you should marry Anora.
Marry her? As in marriage, as in be her husband? You've spoken to her about this? You did, didn't you? Why would you do that? Did you take a blow to the head? That's crazy.
Well, I couldn't speak to you about it before, although I thought that would have made more sense. It's a smart move, and I think you know that too. She can rule while you lead. I think this is the best compromise for peace.
Yes, I suppose you're right. Landsmeet will probably see that too. Go ahead then. Tell her I'll do it when it comes to that. Excuse me while I go have a small heart attack somewhere. No big deal, right?
Right. So, we'll now go into Anora. The plan is working, yes.
Well, have you spoken to my lucky betrothed yet? Or will we be reduced to passing notes?
He's agreed to your terms.
He has? I wasn't expecting that, to tell you the truth. To marry Kaelin's brother. Well, I suppose stranger things have happened. If it will truly help matters... Is this it then? I agree to marry Alistair to retain my throne, and in exchange I give you my support. If not, then tell me now.
Marry Alistair, and you have my support.
Done. So, we have a deal, Warden. I trust you'll keep your end of the bargain. Now, I suppose, comes the task of dealing with my father. That will be no small feat, of course, but I am certain you already know this. I imagine you have much to do. Is there anything else you needed from me?
I have some questions.
Ask me whatever you like.
I'd like to understand Logain better, if possible.
Well, he was once a farmer when he was a boy, if you can believe it. I never could myself. He's useless with plants, for one thing. I remember my mother once asking his help with a sick rose vine. My mother oversaw the rose gardens personally. He touched it. No more than that. And it shed half its leaves like a dog with mange. She never asked for him to help with her roses again. He bought her another one, though. He carried it back from Denerim with the branches overflowing his saddlebag. Despite the thorns tearing him bloody, he wouldn't let anyone else take it. He wanted to be the one to present it to her. My father has his faults, Warden, but he is far from common.
Then why would he have trusted Al How?
Trust would perhaps be putting it too strongly.
Okay, so he's not stupid.
My father knew what How was. And while I despised the man, I knew that father relied on his political mind. I expect my father thought himself above being influenced by the snake. Truly, I wonder how many of these acts stem from How and not my father at all. We may never know.
But it is a good question. Is he truly beyond reason, then?
I hope not, but I fear it is so, yes.
Did he plan overthrowing Kaelin before Ostagar?
I'm not sure. I had no inkling of my father's plans until Caelan was already dead. I would like to think that my father planned for the worst, but did not truly decide that Caelan was a lost cause until that moment in Ostagar. The alternative is difficult to imagine.
So that would say he didn't want to do this, but he saw doing what he's done as the best for Ferelden. A strong leader and ruler while during the Blight. I mean, basically, if he hadn't have, if the Grey Wardens hadn't have been there, and he hadn't tried to ban the Grey Wardens later, this part of the game wouldn't be happening. Another question. Well, why doesn't the game back down? It's not in its nature, I'm guessing.
Because he believes he is right. He thinks he is the only one who can see Ferelden out of its current crisis, even if it is one he helped engineer. My father is capable of remarkable blindness, but it stems from his love of Ferelden. That is the saddest part of all, I think.
Another question.
Ask me whatever you like.
Well, does it make you uncomfortable siding against your father?
Of course it does. Do you think me heartless? But how much worse would I be to calmly stay at the side of a man who murdered my husband?
I met with Caelan at Ostagar. He was a good man.
He was, and far happier in the field than in the throne room. He was reckless, impetuous, and charming. Had he not been king, he would have made a dashing rogue for a band of players. We were a good pairing. He would not have wanted the burden of ruling any more than I would have liked to remain the silent wife in my husband's shadow.
Do you know why Loghain left Caelan to die?
Caelan was so idealistic. The world was his storybook and he was the hero. My father is different. He's an idealist too, but he knows what idealism costs. They often clashed, but never seriously, never for long. Caelan would always come round to Father's way of thinking eventually. And then the Blight came. Caelan dreamed of uniting all the nations of Thedas against the Darkspawn. It was a dream he wouldn't surrender. What my father saw, however, was the boy he had swaddled inviting Orlesian troops back into the land he had fought to free of them. And for once, my poor, foolish husband wouldn't back down.
I'm sorry for your loss.
It was more than just my own loss. But I thank you all the same.
Another question.
Ask me whatever you like.
What do you think will happen after the lands meet?
Do you want me to try my luck at fortune-telling? There was an old woman who read palms in the village of Gwarren when I was a child. She told me that I would have 10 children and be bald as a winter heath when I grew up. I can't say I put much faith in foretelling. What will happen depends much on you, Warden. But you certainly knew that already.
I'm the protagonist. I should go.
Then I wish you luck, Warden.
Thank you. So, let's have a chat with Erlina, if we can.
My lady, she will be forever grateful, Warden.
Right, so, we've got a plan. Well, we should probably tell Eamon that we've got this set up. Not sure what he thinks of the situation, but it might be a good idea just to see what he says.
Warden, let me know if there's any assistance I can give you. We have much to do and little time.
I think I've persuaded Alistair and Anora to marry.
My hearing must be going. I could swear you just said that Alistair and Anora agreed to marry.
You did want me to get Anora on our side, didn't you?
Of course, but I hardly imagined that you could convince her so readily. I am impressed. This alliance can only help us. Well done, my friend.
I should get to work.
We need to do all that we can in the few days left to us before the lands meet.
So let's go and talk to other people. See if they've got stuff to say about the situation. They might do. I don't know. Morrigan.
If one more servant asks if I would like a change of clothes, I will set the house on fire.
What are you doing in my room?
What comes, my friend?
But what are you doing in my room? I want to ask you something.
So, full of questions, are you?
Sir Flemeth is dead. What now?
Now I have enough time to study Mother's grimoire to find a way to prevent her from stealing my body in the future. For she will be back. One day, I have no doubt of that. And if I cannot protect myself, one day I will track her down again in whatever body she inhabits, and she will die again and again if need be. But there is no need to think of such things now. I have you to thank for saving me, so let us return to the task of dealing with the Darkspawn, no?
You can always rely on me, right? Good. I'm glad you're safe.
Let us go. There is much to be done before... There is still much to be done.
Before... Sten.
This is not as defensible as I would like, but it will do. You called.
I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Do you find Ferelden very strange?
To put it lightly, no one has a place here.
I've already asked
Farmers
this
wish
one.
to be merchants. The merchants dream of being nobles, and the nobles become warriors. No one is content to be who they are.
Never mind.
Very well.
Let's go.
As you wish.
Right. Hey, Chester. Woof. Yes. So everyone round there. Mates still in the doorway. Frustrating. Let me talk to Liliana. I wonder if there's special dialogue for the fact that she was the one who came and saved us. Ah. Liliana.
This is a nice change from having to sleep in the woods, isn't it? Well, aren't you sweet and attentive?
We need to talk.
Of course.
You're a travelling minstrel. Do you have any tales to share?
Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
Ooh, right. Tell me. No, we've already heard the Flemeth one. Do you know any stories from Orlais?
Of course, Orlesians enjoy telling stories. I shall tell you my favorite tale of Aveline, the Knight of Orlais.
That sounds interesting.
A long time ago, a girl child was born to a farmer. He had hoped for a son, not a daughter, and so he told his wife to abandon the child in the woods. Before the cold could claim her, the baby was found by a tribe of Dalish elves who took pity on the poor mewling thing and raised her as their own. Aveline, for that is what they called her, grew strong and quick and clever under the guidance of the elves. She learned to wield the sword as well as any man, could kill a deer with an arrow at 100 paces, and was as graceful on the back of a horse as she was on foot.
Oh, continue, please.
Aveline's Dalish guardians saw that she could easily best any Orlesian chevalier in battle, and wanted to show the cruel humans the child they had left to die. They bestowed upon her a fine horse and armor, and sent her to prove herself to her people in the grand tourney. Now in those days, no woman was allowed to take up arms, let alone compete in the grand tourney, but Aveline kept her helmet on and was not discovered.
Oh, did she win the tourney?
Aveline won many events and gained the approval of the adoring crowd. Eventually, she came face to face with the knight Kaleva in the grand melee. Aveline had already bested him in the joust, and Kaleva was determined not to lose a second time. Out of desperation to regain his honor, Kaleva tripped Aveline and tossed her to the ground, ripping off her helmet as he did so. Silence fell upon the arena as Aveline was revealed. Kaleva declared the previous competitions invalid. A woman had taken part, and this was not allowed. But the crowd cheered for Aveline. Kaleva was furious, for he had lost to a woman and was now being shamed. Blinded by his rage, he forced Aveline to her knees. "Know your place, woman," cried he, and slit her throat.
That's terrible.
The son of the king, Prince Freyan, was present. He recognized Aveline's skill and bravery and began to see the injustice done to the women in his land. When he was made king, he rewrote the laws of Orlais so that women could also become chevalier. He honored Aveline and knighted her after her death. And to this day, Any female who is knighted reveres Aveline the Brave, for she is the patron of all women chevalier.
Let's move on then. Thank you. Right, so... Yeah, no extra dialogue. Ah, well. Let's... What wins here?
This is a nice estate, isn't it? What's on your mind?
Yeah, so there's no extra things about it. Oh well.
It is no trouble.
So there'd be extra dialogue. I wonder if there's... Is there the box around here? I don't think there is. Opens in here. Might have to go out to camp to look to the box. Well, you'd think they'd be in here with us. So. And we'll take... I don't know what I'm planning on doing. Random meandering, so let's pull some different people in.
Yes.
Then... And let's have a very different, radically different party for no reason. Right, so... Maybe I'll go out to my camp. Because I think you've got the boxes there. Because you've got a lot of stuff to put in it. Then... Whoa! I've not used you in a while. Right, so... Put that up to 39, and then... Extra hits. Yeah. Actually... Keep things multiples of 3 for no reason. Actually, if I put cunning up, then I can get the next level of survival. And if I don't know what to do, I'd put that in. Oh, we've still got another one. So we'll hold it for later, I think. You're a two-handed weapon guy, aren't you? Requires 40 strength. So we'll take one out of there. There we go. Survival, and if you can stand against the savage blows of a destroyer, every attack sunders the target's armor, reducing its effectiveness for a short time. Effects of multiple blows are not cumulative. Well, I might as well just go all out on two-handed, and then disengage, perfect striking. Severin! Put that there, and then survival. Feast of the Fallen. The assassin thrives on the moment of death. The stamina is partially restored whenever the assassin fells an opponent with a backstab. Yeah, we'll do that.